So I just want to clarify. Dating as a plus-size woman is difficult in LA because people are not transparent.
Dating as a fat woman is really hard, and I think one of the hardest things for me has been like trying not to catfish someone.
Dating as a fat person is a really interesting experience once you start losing.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again, and today we are taking a look at overweight women getting ignored on dating apps. Don't forget to drop a comment and let's jump right into it.
Remember how like a week ago I told myself I would just like hit on a guy if I found him attractive? I still stand by that, but I also forgot that I'm fat. So the last 2 times that I've done this, they spend the rest of the night completely avoiding eye contact with me, as if like me finding them attractive is gonna make me like pounce on them. Last night I was at a bar and this bartender was like very handsome. So me drunkenly, it was like, "You're a handsome man." And he said, "Thank you." And then for the rest of the night proceeded to like avoid eye contact with me every time I walked by him. Like I would care, but I'm also not shocked. It's a hot second to hurt my feelings, especially when it's just like unsurprising.
Ouch! He's a bartender. He was working and he deals with intoxicated women all of the time.
I've officially deleted my dating apps after having them on my phone for literally 10 days of this year. I will not re-download them. I'm done. I'm not going to participate in the meat market, but I do need to go outside more. Dating as a plus-size woman is really hard. It always has been. I'm not good at it.
It's only a matter of time before she re-downloads the apps. It's all but guaranteed for her. So many of these women say, "I'm never installing them again. You know, I'm going to try and meet a man the old-fashioned traditional way," or "I'm done with men altogether." But then they end up going back to the apps anyway.
I'm like really not good at it. I've been single for a very long time because I'm so bad at it. And I just don't even think I know how to date. So maybe I try that this year, like collectively. Maybe I look for events to go to, and maybe I just go outside when I'm bored. And the amount of times that I would have spent on an app, I can sit on a bench in Santa Monica. I literally have no idea, but I'll do it.
She has no idea how to have a life of her own at all, so her weight isn't the only problem that she has. Many of these people who have these health problems, it's not like they have an isolated problem and that being just their health. Usually they make a series of terrible decisions that make them just completely not viable to have as a significant other in your life.
I finally decided it was time for me to start dating again. I've been out of a relationship for almost a year, and I'm ready. I very quickly realized and I hate that it's because of this that I feel this way, but why as a bigger girl, I was dreading being on a dating app again, because we are constantly objectified, and we are suddenly just things that are made for men's pleasure. We're dehumanized, and we're taken advantage of.
What exactly was she expecting here? The men she wants aren't going to line up to be with her. It's crazy how delusional these women actually are, and they always expect men to just be lining out the door to have a relationship with them.
Dating as a fat woman is really hard, and I think one of the hardest things for me has been like trying not to catfish someone. You know, if I give just like a portrait shot like this, they don't really get a good sense of what my body looks like. And so in all of my dating profiles, I try to include at least one, generally 2, like full size, full body shots so that they know what they're getting themselves into.
It's crazy how many overweight women will try and doctor their photos to trick men. It's not right. And again, right, like if you're a dude and you lie about anything on your profile at all, rest assured you'll be reported, you'll be roasted, all of that good stuff.
And one time, I remember this one date, this guy and I had been talking for like 3 months. He was a pilot. He flew internationally, and he would be stationed at different like Air Force bases and whatnot for like weeks at a time, and then he would come back. And so I gave him a little bit of grace for that, and I thought, okay. By the time we were finally able to meet up though, I was super excited. We had like mad chemistry via text.
Having text chemistry means absolutely nothing if the guy doesn't find you attractive. Many of the times when these women say, "Oh, I had great chemistry with this guy," what it really means is that she was highly attracted to him. That's it. It has nothing to do with conversational ability or any of this nonsense. It really is just she's attracted to him, and so she will call it chemistry.
And I got all glammed up. I wore this super cute outfit, showed up at this bar, and he walked in, and the look on his face was just like, ugh. And then he just put on a fake smile. He didn't make eye contact with me the whole time. And I've never had that experience where I felt so unwanted and so ugly.
Imagine how the guy felt. He was obviously catfished and wasted 3 months talking to her.
So I just want to clarify. Dating as a plus size woman is difficult in LA because people are not transparent. Like, I am always so confused. Here's an example. So there's a guy that I see at the gym all the time. And we finally started like kind of hanging out. And then we started going to the movies. And then we had dinner. But at no point has he expressed like romantic interest other than like we kind of hold hands sometimes. But like he hasn't made a move. And in my brain, I'm like, is he not making a move like trying to kiss me or anything because he's just not into big girls? Because in the past, that is the case. So I'm just like confused.
He's obviously not that interested in her at all. That's why he didn't make a move. Lots of these women get confused. They're like, well, why didn't something happen? Why didn't a relationship happen? And it's really simple. It's because the man didn't want to make anything happen at all. You know, these women, they always say, like, dudes are so easy. I can get a man whenever I want. But they fail to understand that men are actually the ones who are gatekeeping the relationships, especially when the women are chasing the men that they want.
Intentional weight loss, so you purposely saying, I want to lose 20 pounds, is fatphobic.
That is certainly a stretch, but whatever would lead a person to that conclusion?
And you might be like, what? Oh my goodness, I'm not trying to be fatphobic, but you are. You're being fatphobic to yourself.
How does that make any sense? Trying to lose weight is now considered to be, according to some, fatphobic to yourself. You can't make this up.
It's only quote-unquote fatphobic because she doesn't want to put in the effort to lose weight. It's as simple as that. The more these people throw around these words, the less meaning they actually have. In fact, I wouldn't even say the word has meaning to begin with.
Why do you want to lose 20 pounds?
Since when does any person actually have to justify to another one, let alone a random stranger, why they want to lose weight?
It's probably to fit into something smaller. It's probably so people treat you better. It's probably for all the reasons that fat folks are shamed simply for being fat.
Or maybe they just want to either maintain or improve their overall health, because I guess a certain person doesn't know what medical professionals say about obesity in regards to a person's overall health.
So by continuing to perpetuate that, right, seeking intentional weight loss, we are contributing to our fatphobic society.
The lengths that some will actually go to try to justify their own positions is just amazing.
If a person wants to lose weight and feel better about themselves and be more healthy, that's not a hateful thing. It is something that will literally extend their life. How ridiculous.
Ideally, I would like to lose more weight before dating. And what really bothers me is every time I tell somebody that, oh, I want to lose more weight before finding a man, they're always flabbergasted. Like, oh, you don't need to lose weight. You don't need to change. Like, a man will like you as is, which like is true. I'm sure I could find a man who does like me as is, but I feel like the type of men I like skinny girls. And I don't know why we pretend that they don't. And I don't know why we sit and we pretend like, oh, like the right guy is going to like you exactly how you are.
It's because of the idea that the world must cater to women who are overweight and not the other way around, despite the fact, by the way, that these people are putting themselves in danger. So it's a really crazy situation where you have to, you don't have to, but the onus is supposedly on you to convince people to improve their bodies so that they actually are on this planet for a long time. It's always been crazy to me.
Like, I'm sorry, I don't want a man who wants a woman who's 40 pounds overweight. I'm just being real. Like, I want a man who wants, like, an in shape, like, I don't want to say, like, trophy girlfriend, but, like, I don't want a man who wants to date an average girl, you know what I'm saying? And it's, like, so annoying to me anytime I just tell somebody, yeah, I just want to lose some weight before I start dating. Oh, they look at me like I'm crucifying them. Like, I feel like that's not a bad thing. And it just honestly frustrates me anytime people are like, no, you don't need to lose weight. Like, you'll find a guy who likes you as you are. Like, girl, I don't even like me as I am. I don't even think my body is attractive. What are you talking about?
There's just a refusal to believe that if you want to improve your life, you have to put in some kind of work. A lot of people just believe that things are going to happen simply because they exist. Modern women most commonly for this, and it's just not true at all.
As somebody who's weighed 320 pounds, it really does not offend me that people didn't want to date me because I was larger. Or when people come on this app and they're like, I lost 100 pounds and now all these men are suddenly interested in me, but I don't like them because they should have liked me at my heaviest weight. When it's like, well, in reality, when I was 320 pounds, I couldn't even walk up a flight of stairs. Like, you really want to date someone who can't walk up a flight of stairs?
Exactly. Men don't want to be with a woman who's physically unable to keep up with him. And also, by the way, if you have lots of these physical problems, you can't control your weight and so on, it says a lot of things about the other decisions that you also choose to make in your life.
Like, that makes no sense. Like, I personally now want to date somebody who's 320 pounds because, like, their lifestyle does not match my lifestyle. I'm also not physically attracted to somebody with that much body fat on their frame. So I don't think it's offensive at all when people say, oh, I don't want to date you because you're XYZ amount of pounds, and then you lose those pounds and they're suddenly interested in you. Like, obviously, maybe don't date them, but I don't think it's wrong of them to now be interested in you because you're at a healthier weight. You can move better. You can see your face. Like, heavy on that. When you have so much fat on your face, you can't even see a person's face. You don't even know what they look like. So to me, not offensive, but I mean, other people have opinions and obviously they're right to have those.
The double standard is ridiculous. You have overweight women who want fit men, but fit men have to love overweight women. So on the one hand, men are being held to one standard, but on the other hand, women don't have to do anything. I mean, we see this all the time.
Dating as a fat person is a really interesting experience once you start losing weight. I've lost 60 pounds in the last year, and I still have a lot left to lose, but it's very interesting to me how my perspective on dating and preferences specifically in dating have changed since I started losing the weight. And I'm a sex and relationships journalist, so I've actually written a lot about my experience dating as a fat woman, but I just recently got back on the apps, and it's got me thinking that I obviously noticed, and I expected this, that I would get a lot more matches.
That shouldn't be surprising to anybody. A majority of men are not attracted to overweight women. You would think this would be common sense, but I mean, apparently not.
Number one, because you can see that I'm smaller in my pictures now. And number two, I put it in my bio that I'm down 60 pounds on a weight loss journey that's ongoing and blah, blah, blah. And so I knew that that would kind of shift some people's perspective who otherwise probably wouldn't have swiped on me if I had been at my highest weight per se. And they would just kind of assume that I wasn't taking care of my physical health, which again is not always true. I'm definitely not supporting any kind of fat phobia or stereotypes around that.
It's funny how she has to cover herself to not catch flack for being quote unquote fat phobic.
But I will say that it's okay for people to have preferences. I know that sounds like kind of a hot take, especially coming from a fat person. And I know that probably like the body positivity community is going to like maim me for this, but truly like it, as long as they're not using hate speech, as long as they're not being blatantly fat phobic, as long as someone's not like harassing you, insulting you, like degrading you, doing anything to you or making it super overt or direct, it's okay for people to not want to date fat people.
saying it's okay to not want to date fat people should not be a hot take in the slightest. It really is just common sense. Like, if you're a dude and you're overweight, I think it's fairly obvious that a lot of women are not going to want to date you. But of course, this is something that, you know, in today's day and age is apparently not common sense anymore.
I was at the beach today alone, and the spot where I wanted to sit was like right by a rock because I wanted to lean up against it and read. There's this guy like directly in front of me, like maybe 10 feet away. Super cute, like really cute guy. And he noticed me. I noticed him. We smiled at each other, whatever. And I was at the beach for a good like 3 hours, maybe 4, just reading. I had like one headphone in, wasn't like, I like that the door was open.
The door wasn't open. She had headphones on and was minding her own business.
And a part of me wanted to go up to him and like be like, hey, how's it going? But honestly, another part of me was just like, what the hell am I doing thinking of going up to guys? I don't want a guy who's too shy to come up to me. I don't want a guy that I have to make the first move with. Yes, he was very cute. He was alone. He looked single. But why the hell would I put myself out there and be like, hey, how's it going? And I honestly think it's like a super huge issue with guys nowadays where it's like, just make the move. I've made the moves before to guys. I've given guys my number, like, and gone up to them first. But at this point, I'm kind of over that. I'm like, I'm not, no, like, you can come up to me. Maybe that's a hot take, but honestly, like, really, like, grow a pair. Grow a pair. You were smiling at me. You were making little flirty faces. Like, just come up to me and ask for my number. It's really, really not that hard.
How does a dude look single? Exactly. She knew nothing about this guy and just assumed that he wanted her, which is just crazy entitled to me.
I need everybody to lock in and answer this question. How are people dating in 2025? You don't have the apps. If I don't have Hinge and I don't have Raya or Bumble or I don't have those. I don't want those. How are y'all meeting people? I feel like I go out and I go to events and, you know, I'm out and about and nobody approaches anybody. No, I'm not kidding. I went to a work event at a bar last week. I stood at the bar by myself for 10 minutes. Not one person approached me. And it's not like on some, you know, like, oh my God, I think I'm hot shit and like somebody should, no, not at all. I'm not even talking about like getting somebody a drink.
These women have no idea how to interact with people. They just expect men to do all the work. You know, we have to carry the conversations. We have to make the conversations happen. We have to do all of this nonsense. And the question is, for what exactly?
Just coming up and saying hi, introducing yourself. How the fuck are y'all meeting people? I don't understand. I go out all by myself. I go to Starbucks. I get coffee. I go to sporting events. Nobody approaches me. I don't understand. How are y'all meeting people? I don't get it. Is it just Instagram now?
Modern women literally told men to leave them alone. So that's what we did, and now they are losing it. So it's kind of like a situation where you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
I'm so fucking over this talking stage bullshit. Because everybody's halfway in and halfway out. Everybody's halfway in a relationship. I'm talking to somebody. Oh, my situationship. Oh, my fuck buddy. Oh, my friends with benefits. Like, for me, it's either we're boyfriend and girlfriend or we're not. Like, I'm so fucking over this talking stage bullshit. It's dumb. It's stupid. Like, if you're going to give me an actual commitment, I'm going to give you an actual commitment. And I'm only going to commit to you. You know, like, I would delete my entire social media for a dude. Like, seriously.
She doesn't get to make that call. It's up to men if they want a relationship with her. This is something that so many of these women forget, is that men actually have agency in relationships as well. They don't have to listen to you. They don't have to have relationships with you if they don't want to. In fact, they don't have to interact with you at all if they don't want to either.
I want a healthy relationship. That is what I want. I don't want a half in, half out, half-ass relationship. The problem with dating these days is the fact that everybody is so traumatized and so scared to get hurt because they've been hurt. And, you know, like, I don't know if this is true for people in their early 20s, but for people in their 30s and their 40s, I hear this all the time. They're too traumatized from their previous relationship to even want to try to open up.
This is what happens when you romanticize trauma instead of coming to terms with it.
The first 2 weeks of talking to somebody is like, you better delete every other man from your phone. We're getting married. You're having all of my babies, 12 of them. And then the very next week, the moment it turns the next week at midnight, like Cinderella. let me just put myself in a corner for falling for this again.
This is the dating world that modern women completely demanded, and they only have themselves to blame for it.
My date just walked
walked out on me within 30 seconds of seeing my face. He saw me. He said, I'm going to go to the bathroom. He also, mind you, when he saw me, I was with Francesca, her boyfriend, and Nick. So, like, not the best look, like, situation-wise, but he kind of stuck up on me. He was like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. He never... Yeah, no, he walked in and, like, everybody was together.
Your date didn't walk out on you after 30 seconds after he saw your face. He walked out on you when he saw that it was actually going to be a group date.
She pretty much lied to the guy about the date. No wonder he sneaked out when he could. And again, guys, you know, if the roles were reversed and men were lying, women would feel absolutely entitled to leave.
And at that point, what do you think the man is going to think? It's either one, you were planning on a quadruple sum and he's just not into that. Or two, you weren't taking getting to know him very seriously, which means that you weren't really that into him. Actually, I think there's a third reason too. It's that it was a complete joke. Like it was to make fun of him. Like he was going to walk in and you were going to laugh at him and say, ha ha, what, you think I could actually be into you? And then you're just there with your friends, which is a complete horror story.
This guy did not sign up for that at all, and he doesn't have to put up with that kind of treatment. Again, I love how the expectation is for just men to put up with nonsense.
I'm just trying to understand what psychological disorder this is for a man to ask you out on a date, ask for your availability, you then proceed to give them that availability, confirm a day, and then all of a sudden that day comes and fucking goes, and crickets. Don't hear from them. But then a day later, they like your Instagram story. All of a sudden, that day, your thumbs decide to work? Sir, did you fall down a fucking well? Were you dropped on your head as a baby? And again last week? Like, I'm not even mad. I'm just, like, concerned for your cognitive health.
That's not a psychological disorder. That's just Chad. He has been ghosting women for quite a while. It's interesting how these women have to, you know, assign some sort of mental problem to men that don't want them. It's actually so entitled when you think about it.
These are some dangers of dating an older man. This is coming from someone that dated someone 20 years older than me, and I definitely paid a price for that. There are definitely some key things that I took away from this dynamic that I will never ever date an older man again. A lot of older men that are probably at least 20 years older than you, 30 years older than you, they go after young women specifically because young women don't have the same life experience as someone obviously in their age range, right? They know this and they love knowing how naive and how little life experience we have because it's easier for them to control you.
She's confusing life experience with emotional baggage. It's not the same thing. Emotional baggage is not something that any man should be forced to deal with. Make sure you click on one of the videos on screen now to watch more if you liked today's video. Don't forget to take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.